Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and hello guys. Today I will explain to you about an estate in Faraid. But first of all, what is an estate? Estate is all the assets and liabilities of a deceased person that according to Islamic law may be inherited by the deceased person's heirs. There are several types of estate that can be leased. The first one is immovable property such as building or a plantation. Second one is movable property such as money, vehicles and clothes. And third one is money owed to a deceased person. Number 4 is property that has been mortgaged by a deceased person that is redeemable. And number 5 is property purchased by a deceased person during his lifetime for which payment has been made by him but which has not been delivered to him until his death. Number 6 is mahar that has yet to be paid to a wife until the wife's death. And number 7 is other assets such as savings, EPF, money, shares, unit trusts, bonds, and insurance policies that are approved by Islamic law. Next one is all the aforesaid property in and outside the residence of the deceased person. And last but not least is all other assets of material value.
Entitlement in Faraid. There are 6 persons entitled to get Faraid, which is husband, wife, father, son, daughter, and mother. Number 1 is husband. If he has no son or grandchild from the son, he entitled to get 1/2 of Faraid. But if he have a son or grandchild from the son, he only entitled to get 1/4 of Faraid only. Number 2 is wife. If she has no son or grandchild from the son, she entitled to get 1/4 of Faraid. But if she have a son or grandchild from the son, she only entitled to get 1/8 of Faraid only. Number 3 is father. If he have son or grandson from the own son, he entitled to get 1/6 of Faraid. And if he have a daughter or granddaughter, he also entitled to get 1/6 of Faraid. Number 4 is son. If he is only one son and do not have a daughter, he entitled to get 1/2 of Faraid. Number 5 is daughter. If she is only one daughter and no son, she entitled to get 1.5 of Faraid. But if have more than 2 daughters and no son, she entitled to get 2/3 of the Faraid. Last but not least, number 6 is mother. She entitled to get 1/3 of Faraid. Entitlement of Faraid. Situation number 1. For example, Encik Shukri is an influencer. He have a wife, one son and mother, and also 4 siblings. One day, he got sick and died. Encik Shukri left 500,000 ringgit of estate to their family. So, his wife entitled to get 1/8 of his estate worth 62,500 ringgit. His son entitled to get 17/24 of his estate worth 354,166 ringgit. His mother entitled to get 1/6 of his estate worth 83,333 ringgit. Unfortunately, his 4 siblings are not entitled to get any of his estate.
Hi. Next, situation 2 in entitlement in Faraid. Puan Fatima is a successful accountant at a popular bank. She is married and has 2 daughters and 1 son. She has a parent that still live at the village. Unfortunately, one day she had an accident and died at the scene. Puan Fatima left her estate worth 500,000 to her family. The calculation in Faraid has been made towards Puan Fatima's family, so his son entitled to get 5/24, that was 104,166 ringgit. Puan Fatima has 2 daughters that entitled to get 5/48, that was 52,083 ringgit for each person. Meanwhile, her husband entitled to get 1/4, that was 125,000 ringgit. And lastly, her parent entitled to get 1/6, that was 83,333 ringgit for each person.
Entitlement in Faraid. Situation 3. For example, Auntie Zaki has a big family. He has a wife, 2 sons, 2 daughters, 1 son, and 1 granddaughter. Unfortunately, he had an accident and died. He left his estate worth 1 million ringgit to his heirs. So, his wife are entitled to get 1/8 of his estate worth 125,000 ringgit. Next, his 2 sons are entitled to get 7/24 of his estate worth 291,666 ringgit each. Next, his daughters are entitled to get 7/48 of his estate worth 145,833 ringgit each. While his grandson and granddaughter are not entitled to get any of his estate.
Issue related to Faraid. A Muslim is only allowed to give away not more than 1/3 of his estate in a will. If more than 1/3 of estate must have consent from all the deceased heirs. If without consent, the heirs can only entitle for 1/3. The first is hibah or gift. A Muslim can hibah his estate to anybody within living duration, whether partial or all of the estate assets which can be placed under the hibah trust consist of movable assets and immovable assets with value. In the Islamic law, hibah is valid once there is ijab and qabul about the gift that he or she wants to give away without consideration. It is haram to ask for hibah back even siblings, husband and wife, except a hibah from the father to the son. Second is nominee in insurance, EPF or tabung haji. In the Islamic law, nomination of the above are considered not valid or does not fall to the nominee upon the death of the deceased. It is still contrary to the Faraid. Issue related to